Michael was a man who had built his company from the ground up. He was the CEO of a popular food business called Taste Haven, known for its delicious dishes and warm atmosphere. But lately, Michael felt something was missing. He was spending so much time behind his desk that he had lost touch with the heart of his business, the kitchen. One morning, Michael looked at himself in the mirror and made a decision. I need to see things for myself, he thought. I want to know what really happens in my restaurant every day. That day, Michael dressed differently. He wore a plain white shirt, simple black pants, and a chef's apron. He wanted to blend in, so no one would recognize him as the boss. When he walked into Taste Haven, the staff greeted him with smiles. They didn't know him, but Michael smiled back, feeling a little nervous. The kitchen was busy. Pots clanged, steam rose from pans, and voices shouted orders. Michael's heart beat faster. This was the place where all the magic happened. He was ready to work, to learn, and to understand what his team went through every day. Anna, the head chef, noticed the new helper immediately. She was a tall woman with bright eyes and a kind smile. "You're new here," she said as she handed him a knife. "I'm Anna." "What's your name?" Michael thought for a moment. "Call me Sam," he said, shaking her hand. "I'm here to help." Anna nodded. "All right, Sam. We're busy today. Follow my lead." Michael tried to keep up. He chopped vegetables, cleaned counters, and carried plates. It was harder than he thought. His hands trembled, and sweat dripped down his forehead. But he didn't complain. He wanted to prove he could handle it. After a few hours, Michael began to relax. He smiled when a waiter praised the food. He laughed when a young cook told a joke. Slowly, he felt part of the team. But then, something strange happened. During a quiet moment, Michael noticed a man standing near the kitchen door. The man wore a dark jacket and looked around nervously. He wasn't part of the staff. Michael didn't know who he was, but something about him felt wrong. The man's eyes met Michael's for a second before he quickly turned away. Michael's heart skipped a beat. He wondered why the stranger was here. Later that night, when most of the restaurant was closed, Michael stayed behind to clean up. He wanted to see the kitchen empty and calm. As he wiped a table, he heard footsteps outside the door. Michael froze. He peeked through a small window and saw the same man from earlier. The man was sneaking toward the kitchen door with a small bag in his hand. Michael's mind raced. Why is he here? What does he want? Michael thought. The man waited until the coast was clear, then slipped inside. Michael's curiosity pushed him to follow quietly. Inside the kitchen, the man moved fast. He opened cabinets and took out spices and sauces. Michael watched closely as the man poured something strange into a bottle. It looked like he was ruining the ingredients. Suddenly, the man pulled out a small piece of paper from his pocket. He looked around again and read the note quickly. Michael couldn't hear the words, but the look on the man's face made him feel cold. This was not just a simple theft, it was a plan to harm the restaurant. The man packed everything back into his bag and slipped out before Michael could say anything. Michael's hands shook as he closed the kitchen door. He leaned against the wall, trying to calm down. "This is serious," he whispered. "Someone wants to destroy everything I've worked for." Michael knew he had to act carefully. If he revealed himself too soon, the saboteur might escape. But if he did nothing, the whole business could be in danger. The next morning, Michael arrived early, still thinking about what he had seen. The restaurant was quiet, except for the sound of the coffee machine and the soft chatter of the early staff. Anna walked in and greeted Michael with a bright smile. "Good morning, Sam. Ready for another busy day?" Michael nodded. "Yes. But I want to ask you something. Have you noticed anything strange lately?" Anyone acting out of place? Anna frowned. Not really. Why do you ask? Michael hesitated but decided to trust her. I think someone tried to harm the kitchen last night. I saw a man sneaking in. Anna's eyes widened. That's terrible. Do you know who it was? Michael shook his head. No. But I want to find out. Anna placed a hand on his shoulder. We will figure this out together. Michael felt a wave of relief. He wasn't alone. For the first time in months, Michael felt connected not just to his business, but to the people who made it special. He promised himself to stay undercover longer, to protect Taste Haven and the family he found in his team. As the morning sun filled the kitchen with light, Michael felt ready for the challenges ahead. Whatever the stranger's plan was, Michael would not let his restaurant fall. The morning rush at Taste Haven was busier than usual. Michael, still working under the name Sam, moved quickly around the kitchen, trying to keep up with orders. His muscles ached from the day before, but his mind was full of questions. Who was the man he saw the night before? And what exactly had he done in the kitchen? As the hours passed, Michael kept his eyes open. He watched every new face that entered the restaurant, noticing even the smallest details. Some employees were cheerful and hard-working, while others seemed nervous or distracted. But no one looked like the mysterious stranger. During a short break, Michael went to the storage room to check the supplies. He wanted to see if anything looked out of place. The shelves were filled with bottles, spices, and boxes, all neatly arranged. But something caught his eye. A few containers looked different. The labels were worn and faded, and some spices had a strange smell. Michael reached out and touched one of the bottles. It felt sticky, as if someone had spilled something on it. His stomach tightened. Could this be part of the sabotage? Just then, he heard footsteps outside. Michael quickly hid behind a stack of boxes. The door opened slowly, and the same man from before slipped inside. He looked around carefully, making sure no one was watching. The man pulled a small tool from his pocket and started opening bottles one by one. Michael's heart pounded louder. The man was clearly tampering with the supplies again. Michael wanted to stop him, but he knew it would be dangerous. If he made a mistake, the man could run away and cause more harm. So, Michael stayed hidden, watching every move. The stranger took out a small vial from his bag and poured its contents into a large jar of sauce. Michael's stomach twisted in fear. This sauce was used in one of the restaurant's most popular dishes. If customers ate it, they could get sick. Michael tried to remember the faces of his staff. Was someone helping this man? Was the stranger working alone? Suddenly, the man heard a noise and froze. Michael held his breath, hoping to stay unseen. After a moment, the man pulled out a folded piece of paper and read it quickly. Michael couldn't hear the words, but he could see the man's eyes flickering with anger and fear. The man stuffed the paper back into his pocket and hurried out the door. Michael waited a few seconds before stepping out from behind the boxes. He looked at the bottle of sauce. His mind raced. This is serious, Michael whispered to himself. If this reaches the customers, the restaurant's reputation will be destroyed. Michael decided he had to find the note the man had dropped. Maybe it held the key to understanding the plan. He searched the floor carefully and finally found a small, crumpled piece of paper near the door. He unfolded it and read the words written in a messy hand, "Tonight. Big event. Finish the job. No mistakes." Michael's hands shook. The note was short but clear. Someone was planning a final attack during an important event at the restaurant. The thought made Michael anxious. He knew that Taste Haven had a big party scheduled for the weekend, a celebration of the restaurant's anniversary. The event was expected to bring many guests, including some important people who could help the business grow. If the sabotage succeeded, the damage would be huge. Michael needed help, but he couldn't tell anyone his true identity yet. He didn't want to cause panic or make the wrong accusation. So, he went to Anna, the head chef, who had been kind and trustworthy. "Anna," Michael said quietly during a busy moment in the kitchen, "I found this note. Someone wants to harm us during the big event." Anna's eyes widened. "This is serious. We need to warn the team." Michael nodded. "But not everyone. We don't know who to trust. If the saboteur hears us, they might destroy the place sooner." Anna thought for a moment. "We'll watch closely, but carefully. We can check the supplies every day. And I'll keep an eye on the staff." Michael felt grateful for Anna's calm and strength. He knew he could count on her. The next days passed slowly, filled with quiet tension. Michael worked harder than ever, studying every detail in the kitchen. He noticed small things: missing tools, extra locks on doors, whispered conversations. One evening, after closing time, Michael found himself alone in the kitchen again. He cleaned the counters and checked the supplies once more. His eyes caught a shadow moving near the back door. Michael's breath caught. He moved quietly and saw a figure standing near the garbage bins. It was the same man, the stranger, talking softly on his phone. Michael listened carefully. He couldn't hear all the words, but he caught a few phrases: "the plan, next night, everything ready." Suddenly, the stranger's voice changed. He said, "We must be careful. The boss is close." Michael's heart stopped. The man knew someone was watching. Michael stayed hidden until the stranger left. Then, he took a deep breath and looked around. He knew he was close to the truth. The sabotage was real, and the danger was near. But Michael also felt a new determination. He was not just the CEO now, he was a protector. He would do everything to save his restaurant and the people who worked there. As Michael left the kitchen that night, the stars shone brightly above Taste Haven. The calm outside was a sharp contrast to the storm inside. Michael knew the battle was only beginning. The day after Michael's discovery, the restaurant buzzed with its usual energy. The chefs moved swiftly, waiters balanced plates carefully, and customers filled the tables with chatter and laughter. But beneath the busy surface, Michael felt a quiet tension. He knew something dangerous was unfolding, and time was running out. Michael kept his new identity as Sam firmly in place. He wanted to learn more before revealing anything to his team. Every small detail mattered now. Every glance, every whisper could hold a secret. During a short break, Michael sat in the corner of the kitchen office. The crumpled note from the stranger's sabotage plan lay on the desk in front of him. He looked at it again. "Tonight. Big event. Finish the job. No mistakes." The message was clear, but it left many questions unanswered. Who was the man behind this? Was he working alone or with others? And what exactly was the big event? Michael thought about the upcoming anniversary party. It was a celebration of Taste Haven's success and a chance to welcome important guests from the food industry. If the sabotage happened there, the damage would be more than just physical. It would break the trust customers had in the restaurant. Anna entered the office quietly, holding a tray of fresh coffee. "You look worried," she said gently, placing the cup beside Michael. Michael smiled faintly. "I am. I found this note. It says something will happen tonight, but I don't know what." Anna frowned and sat down. "We need to be careful. The saboteur might try to ruin the food, the equipment, or even the event itself." Michael nodded. "I want to watch the kitchen closely today. If anything unusual happens, we'll catch it." Anna agreed. "I'll help you. Let's keep this between us for now." Michael was glad to have Anna's support. She was strong and smart, and he trusted her completely. As the afternoon passed, Michael stayed alert. He checked the supplies again, making sure nothing was out of place. But everything seemed normal. Maybe the saboteur was waiting for the right moment. Then, during a busy lunch hour, Michael noticed something strange. One of the kitchen staff, Tom, was acting nervously. He dropped a knife, avoided eye contact, and kept wiping his hands as if hiding something. Michael decided to watch Tom more carefully. After the lunch rush, Michael found Tom alone in the storage room. The young man looked around before pulling out a small envelope from his jacket pocket. Michael's heart raced. Could Tom be involved? Before Michael could speak, Tom's phone rang loudly. He jumped and hurried out of the room. Michael sighed. He needed proof before making any accusation. But he couldn't ignore the feeling that someone close to the team might be helping the stranger. Later that evening, Michael and Anna reviewed the guest list for the anniversary party. The list included many important people: local business owners, food critics, and even a television reporter. "This event will bring a lot of attention," Anna said. "If something goes wrong, it will be a disaster." Michael agreed. "We have to be ready for anything." As the kitchen staff prepared for the big night, Michael found a quiet moment to check the note again. Then, something caught his eye: a small mark at the bottom of the paper. It looked like a code or a symbol. Michael pulled out his phone and searched for similar marks online. After a few minutes, he discovered the symbol was used by a rival restaurant group nearby. They had a history of trying to ruin competitors through unfair means. Michael's stomach tightened. The sabotage was not random, it was planned by his biggest rival. He shared this with Anna. "This changes everything. We're dealing with people who want to destroy us completely." Anna looked determined. "Then we have to fight back, but carefully. We need proof and a plan." Michael felt the weight of responsibility. As a CEO, he was used to making decisions, but this was different. This was about protecting his people and the place they loved. That night, Michael stayed late at the restaurant. He walked through the quiet kitchen, imagining what might happen during the party. He thought about the loyal staff, the customers who trusted them, and the dream he had built. Suddenly, his phone buzzed. It was a message from an unknown number. "Stop digging or you'll regret it. The plan moves forward." Michael's hands shook. The threat was clear. But he wasn't afraid. Instead, he felt more determined than ever. He would protect Taste Haven, no matter what. The next day, Michael decided to act carefully. He arranged a private meeting with Anna after the morning shift. Together, they planned to keep a closer watch on the supplies and staff. Anna suggested, "Let's also secretly check the security cameras. Maybe we can catch the saboteur on video." Michael nodded. "Good idea. And I'll try to talk to Tom again. I want to know what he's hiding." The plan was simple but risky. They had to balance trust and suspicion without breaking the team's spirit. As Michael prepared for another busy day, he felt a strange mix of hope and fear. The hidden message in the note had revealed the enemy, but the fight was far from over. Michael knew that to save Taste Haven, he needed more than strength. He needed courage, wisdom, and the trust of those around him. And so, with the quiet determination of a man ready to face the storm, Michael stepped into the kitchen, ready to protect the heart of his dream. The morning sun cast warm light over Taste Haven as the staff prepared for another busy day. Michael, still disguised as Sam, arrived early. His mind was restless, filled with questions and worries. The threat against his restaurant was real, and it was closer than he had hoped. After the morning briefing, Michael found a quiet moment to speak with Anna. "We need to be careful today," he said softly. "The saboteur could strike anytime." Anna nodded, her expression serious. "I'll watch the kitchen and the supplies. You try to talk to Tom again. I want to know if he's hiding something." Michael agreed but felt a knot tighten in his chest. He didn't want to believe any of his team could betray them, but the evidence was hard to ignore. Watching Tom's nervous behavior made Michael's heart ache. He had hoped everyone here cared about the restaurant as much as he did. As the day went on, Michael kept a close eye on Tom. During a busy lunch rush, Michael noticed Tom slipping away from the kitchen toward the staff locker room. Curious, Michael followed him quietly. In the locker room, Tom pulled out his phone and sent a quick message. Michael strained to hear, but the room was too noisy. Tom then stuffed the phone into his pocket and left quickly, glancing over his shoulder. Michael's mind raced. Was Tom working with the stranger? Or was there another reason for his secretive behavior? Michael decided to talk to Tom directly after the lunch rush. When the kitchen slowed down, he approached the young man. "Tom," Michael said gently, "can we talk?" Tom looked surprised but nodded. They stepped aside to a quieter corner. "I've noticed you seem worried lately," Michael began. "Is something going on? Are you okay?" Tom hesitated, then sighed. "I'm sorry, Sam. I didn't want to cause trouble. But I've been scared. There's been pressure on me outside of work." Michael listened carefully. Tom explained that a group of people from the rival restaurant had threatened him and his family. They wanted him to help sabotage Taste Haven, or else face consequences. Michael's heart sank. Tom was caught in a difficult situation, forced to betray the place he cared about. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" Michael asked softly. "I was afraid," Tom admitted. "I didn't know who to trust. But I want to fix this. I want to protect Taste Haven." Michael placed a reassuring hand on Tom's shoulder. "Thank you for telling me. We'll handle this together." At that moment, Michael realized how deep the sabotage ran. It wasn't just one person acting alone, it was a plan to hurt everyone connected to Taste Haven. Later that afternoon, Michael shared Tom's story with Anna. "He's scared but willing to help," Michael said. Anna frowned. "This means we have to be extra careful. If the rival group is threatening people, the situation is worse than we thought." Michael agreed. "We need to protect everyone and catch those responsible." The two began making a new plan. They decided to increase security around the restaurant and watch all deliveries closely. They also agreed to keep the staff informed, without causing panic. That evening, Michael stayed late again, reviewing security footage with Anna. The cameras showed the stranger entering the kitchen the previous night, moving quietly and quickly. But the image was blurry, making it hard to identify him. Michael sighed. "We need better cameras. And more eyes." Anna smiled. "We have loyal staff. We just need to remind them to watch out for each other." Michael thought about the upcoming anniversary party. The pressure was mounting, and the saboteur's plan was closing in. Despite the fear, Michael felt something stronger growing inside him, a determination to protect his team and his dream. He wasn't alone in this fight. That night, as Michael left the restaurant, he saw Tom waiting outside. The young man looked nervous but hopeful. "Sam," Tom said quietly, "thank you for trusting me." Michael smiled. "We're in this together, Tom. We'll stop them." As Tom walked away, Michael looked up at the stars. He knew the road ahead would be difficult, but with loyalty and courage, Taste Haven could survive. The night before the big anniversary party at Taste Haven, the restaurant was unusually quiet. Most of the staff had left for the day, but Michael stayed late, walking slowly through the kitchen. The bright lights overhead made the room feel different at night, still and empty, but full of memories. Michael thought about how much this place meant to him. He had built it with hard work, long days, and countless sacrifices. Now, with the threat of sabotage hanging over them, he felt a strange mix of hope and worry. Anna joined him quietly, carrying a clipboard. "We've done everything we can for now," she said. "Supplies checked, security increased, and the staff warned." Michael nodded. But the saboteur is still out there. We don't know when they'll strike. Anna smiled softly. That's true. But we have something stronger: our team's loyalty. Michael looked around the kitchen, imagining the faces of his staff who worked here every day. They were more than employees, they were a family. And he promised himself to protect them. Later that evening, Michael met Tom in a small room behind the kitchen. Tom looked nervous but determined. Do you feel ready? Michael asked. Tom nodded. I want to help catch whoever is behind this. I'm done hiding. Michael handed him a small camera. This will help us. If you see anything suspicious during the party, record it quietly. Tom smiled with relief. Thank you, Sam. I won't let you down. As Tom left, Michael felt a new sense of confidence. They were ready to face the challenge together. The rest of the night passed slowly. Michael checked the security cameras again and made sure the locks were secure. He thought about the guests who would arrive tomorrow: friends, neighbors, and important people who believed in Taste Haven. Just before leaving, Michael heard a soft noise near the back door. He paused and looked carefully. A shadow moved quickly, then disappeared into the dark. Michael's heart beat faster. Was it the saboteur? Or just someone passing by? He decided to keep the restaurant locked tight and called Anna to stay overnight as well. We need to be ready, he said. Anna agreed without hesitation. I'll be here. Together, they prepared for the night ahead. The next day, the restaurant buzzed with excitement. Guests arrived dressed in their best clothes, eager to celebrate Taste Haven's anniversary. The atmosphere was warm and joyful, full of laughter and happy conversations. Michael stayed behind the scenes, watching carefully. He smiled when he saw Anna greet the guests, her calm presence reassuring everyone. Tom moved quietly through the crowd, the small camera hidden beneath his jacket. Michael caught a quick glance and nodded at him. They were ready. But as the evening went on, Michael felt a growing unease. Something didn't feel right. Then, near the kitchen door, he saw a figure moving oddly. It was the stranger, the saboteur, dressed in a dark jacket and trying to blend in with the guests. Michael's breath caught. The man carried a small bag and looked around nervously. Michael wanted to stop him, but he needed proof. He whispered to Anna, who immediately alerted the security team. The saboteur moved closer to the kitchen, and Michael followed quietly. The man opened the door and slipped inside. Michael and Anna exchanged a glance. They had to act fast. Inside the kitchen, the saboteur began to tamper with the ingredients again. Michael watched closely, heart pounding. Suddenly, Tom appeared from the shadows, holding his camera steady. The saboteur froze, realizing he had been caught on tape. Michael stepped forward. Stop. You're done. The man looked around, panic in his eyes, but Michael was calm. Why are you doing this? Michael asked. The saboteur's face twisted with anger. Your success is my failure. I won't let you win. Michael shook his head. This is not how business should be done. You're hurting people, not just a restaurant. The man hesitated, then dropped the bag and ran toward the back exit. Anna and security blocked the way, and the saboteur was quickly caught. Michael felt a rush of relief. The danger was over. Later that night, after the guests had left and the staff cleaned up, Michael gathered everyone in the dining room. He removed his apron and smiled. I want to thank all of you. This restaurant is not just a business, it's a family. And together, we faced a hard challenge. The staff cheered softly, proud and grateful. Michael looked at Anna and Tom. I also want to say thank you for your courage. You saved Taste Haven. Anna smiled warmly. We did it together. Tom nodded shyly, feeling proud. Michael felt a deep happiness. The fight had been hard, but the love for his restaurant and his team had won. As the night grew quiet, Michael stood by the window, looking out at the city lights. He knew there would be more challenges ahead, but tonight, Taste Haven was safe and stronger than ever. The morning after the anniversary party, the restaurant was filled with quiet celebration. The staff moved with smiles and laughter, relieved that the event had gone well and the sabotage had been stopped. But Michael knew the story was not over yet. He sat in his small office, now free from the Sam disguise, feeling the weight of the last few weeks. The sabotage attempt was more than a business attack, it was personal. Michael thought about the man they had caught the night before. Who was he? What had made him so angry? Anna knocked gently on the door. "Michael, we have the footage and the confession. The police want to meet with you." Michael nodded. "I'll be there." The rival sabotage had been a secret plan from a nearby restaurant group. They wanted to take over Taste Haven's place in the city's food scene, but their plan had failed thanks to Michael and his team. Michael decided it was time to face the rival group. He arranged a meeting with their owner, Mr. Patel, a man known for his sharp business mind but ruthless tactics. The meeting was held in a quiet office overlooking the city. Mr. Patel sat behind a large desk, calm but stern. "Michael," Mr. Patel began, "I hear you stopped my man. This is serious." Michael looked him in the eye. "I don't want war. I want respect and fairness." Mr. Patel smiled coldly. "Respect is earned through power, Michael. Your restaurant has done well, but there's a limit." Michael took a deep breath. "I built Taste Haven on trust, hard work, and honesty. If you want to compete, do it fairly." The two men sat quietly for a moment, the tension thick in the air. Finally, Mr. Patel said, "You're stronger than I thought. But this is not over." Michael stood. "I hope it is." Back at Taste Haven, Michael returned to his team. The staff were eager to hear about the meeting. Anna smiled. "You did well." Michael looked around the room. "We faced a hard test. But we passed it because we stayed true to what we believe." Tom, still a little nervous, raised his hand. "What happens now?" Michael answered honestly, "We keep working hard. We protect each other. And we grow stronger." The weeks that followed were busy but hopeful. The restaurant became a symbol of resilience in the community. Customers came in larger numbers, inspired by the story of courage and teamwork. Michael spent more time with his staff, learning their stories and dreams. He realized that a restaurant was more than food, it was a place where people connected, shared, and felt at home. One afternoon, Michael sat with Anna and Tom, planning new ideas for the restaurant's future. "I want to start a cooking class," Michael said. "Teach the community our recipes and passion." Anna nodded. "And maybe a special menu that celebrates local farmers and ingredients." Tom smiled. "I want to help with marketing and tell our story." Michael felt a deep happiness. Taste Haven was not just surviving, it was thriving. One evening, Michael stood outside the restaurant, watching the sunset. The sky was painted with warm colors, and the city lights began to glow. He thought about the journey, the challenges, the fear, and the hope. He knew there would always be obstacles, but now he was ready. Because Michael understood that success was not just about winning. It was about standing strong with the people who believed in you. And with his team by his side, Michael was ready to face the future. The days after the rivals' warning passed in a peaceful rhythm at Taste Haven. Michael felt a calm he hadn't known in weeks. The sabotage was behind them, and the restaurant was growing stronger. Yet, Michael knew that trust and hard work must continue every day. One morning, as the sunlight poured through the windows, Michael stood in the kitchen watching the team prepare for the day. The clatter of pans, the hum of conversation, and the smells of fresh bread filled the air. It was a reminder of why he loved this place. Anna came over with a small stack of papers. Michael, I finished the plans for the cooking classes and the new menu. Everyone is excited. Michael smiled. That's wonderful, Anna. Let's share our passion with the community. Tom entered, holding a tablet. I made a short video about our story for social media. People already like it? Michael looked at the screen and saw the happy faces of the staff, the clean kitchen, and the busy dining room. It told a story of courage, teamwork, and hope. I think this will help people see the heart of Taste Haven, Michael said. As the day went on, guests filled the restaurant, many stopping Michael to congratulate him. The community had come together, supporting the restaurant more than ever before. Michael felt grateful. He remembered the difficult times, the threats, the fear, and the doubts. But now, everything was different. He knew that the fight had made Taste Haven stronger. That evening, Michael sat alone in the dining room after closing. The quiet was peaceful, and he reflected on everything that had happened. His phone buzzed. It was a message from Anna, "Meet me in the kitchen." Curious, Michael walked to the kitchen, where Anna was waiting with a small box. "Open it," she said with a smile. Michael lifted the lid and saw a simple but beautiful plaque. It read, "To Michael, for leading Taste Haven with courage, kindness, and heart." Michael's eyes softened. "Thank you, Anna. This means a lot." Anna smiled. "We wanted to remind you how much you mean to all of us." Michael looked around at the empty kitchen, feeling proud. This was more than a restaurant, it was a family. The next day, the first cooking class began. Children and adults gathered eagerly in the kitchen, ready to learn. Michael stood at the front, guiding them through simple recipes. He saw the joy on their faces as they mixed, stirred, and tasted. Anna helped with the guests, sharing stories about local farmers and ingredients. Tom filmed the class, capturing every moment. As the class ended, a young girl approached Michael. "Thank you for teaching us. I want to be a chef like you." Michael knelt down and smiled. "You can be anything you want. Just believe in yourself and never give up." That moment reminded Michael why he had started Taste Haven, to inspire and bring people together. Weeks passed, and the restaurant continued to grow. New customers came from far away, curious about the place with the heartwarming story. Michael's team worked happily, united by trust and respect. The rivalry with Mr. Patel's group became less important, replaced by a focus on their own journey. One afternoon, Michael received a call from a local reporter. She wanted to feature Taste Haven in a story about businesses overcoming challenges. Michael agreed, and the interview went well. He spoke honestly about the sabotage, the support of his team, and the power of kindness. After the interview, Michael felt hopeful for the future. One evening, as the sun set behind the city, Michael stood outside the restaurant, looking at the glowing lights inside. Anna joined him. "You did a great job, Michael. Taste Haven is more than a restaurant now, it's a community." Michael nodded. "I couldn't have done it without you, Tom, and the whole team." Anna smiled. "We're family." Michael felt a warmth in his heart. He knew the road ahead would have challenges, but with his team and the community, they could face anything. He looked at the night sky and whispered to himself, "This is just the beginning." And so, Taste Haven thrived not because of the food alone, but because of the people who believed in it, who worked together, and who never gave up. Michael's dream had become real. A place where hope, courage, and kindness always found a way to shine.